Please welcome the president of the Edison Foundation, Tom Kuhn.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and it is a great pleasure for me to also welcome you to Powering the People 2.0. It's great to see this big crowd, and I want to compliment the Edison Foundation again for another great meeting to follow on last year's. I think the ideas that were generated last year are still being talked about, and we have many more insights and ideas that will come out of this particular meeting. You know, electricity permeates every part of our life. As Joe indicated, it was less than 10 years ago that we didn't have any iPads, iPods, Nanos, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And we see again how much electricity is changing our lives this century, much as it did the last century, and it certainly is powering the economy as well. There's one segment of the economy that electricity hasn't permeated before now, and that is the transportation sector. But I'm very happy to report that that's changing as well. Last year, General Motors and Nissan launched two new products, the Volt and the Leaf. I'm happy to be an owner of the Chevy Volt that's out in front there. You'll hear about that a little bit later. And they really are transformative cars. There's been a lot of discussions about the sales of the Volt. It comes out highest in customer satisfaction, which is, I think, tremendously interesting, because those owners of the Volt think this is just one of the greatest cars ever. The Leaf similarly is right up on the top of that list in customer satisfaction as well. And now every other major automobile manufacturer is following on with their versions. You've got Toyota, Ford, Honda, Volvo, Jaguar, Hyundai, Volkswagen. All of them are coming out with some kind of electric vehicles or plug-in electric vehicles. So we see the march toward greater electrification in the transportation sector moving forward into the future. You know, there are a number of reasons why this is happening. You know, the first and foremost, if you're an owner or you talk to any of the other owners, they're great cars. The acceleration, the handling, you know, the way the car holds the road, and even in bad weather and things of that nature, they're absolutely terrific cars. But beyond that, the operating costs are extremely low. You can run the Chevy Volt on under $1 a gallon when you are using the gasoline component or the electric component, and I think that on all the electric vehicles, that's about the range. So when gasoline is moving up to $4 a gallon, that's a pretty exciting proposition, and the maintenance costs are virtually nil as well. So that's one of the absolutely positively main attractions, and you can. The freedom and liberation of avoiding leaving your paycheck at the gas station is a really nice proposition, I've got to say, and filling up at home, you know, so you do it while you sleep, and it's just you know, a very, very wonderful idea not to have to visit gas stations. National security. You know, that's another important part of the equation. We're still sending $1 billion a year overseas to countries that don't like us, and I think that you know, I think that for national reasons, and that's not why the people buy cars, but that's the main part of the benefits as well, and of course the environment as well. Major reductions in CO2 emissions and just about every other emissions. But let's move on from my remarks. Coming into the museum, you noticed out front our display of innovative electric cars and trucks. So we're going to go back out there right now. I'm not asking you to all get out of your seats, but with the magic of electricity, we're going to go back outside, and we're going to go ask Simon Marks, who was outside on the sidewalk, to give you an idea of the wide variety of new electric vehicles that are being introduced. Good afternoon, Simon, and everybody here wants to see what's new in electric transportation, so can you give us a quick tour.
We certainly can, Tom, and as you know, because you already own one, and as we're about to see, electricity is already changing the way all sorts of vehicles are powered right now, today, across the United States, ranging from small-scale vehicles that urban commuters use to get to work every day, all the way through to much larger delivery trucks. We're going to take a look at a range of them today, beginning with this wonderful little thing, the WeGo all-electric car. Leslie Nolan has been good enough to bring this along, and she's here from WeGo. Leslie, tell us all about the car.
Yes, a little background. WeGo is an Atlanta-based startup company. We build our cars in Ontario, California. The name Life is derived from lithium and iron, which is the type of batteries that charge the car. As you can tell, it's a two-seater. It's got about 20 cubic feet of cargo space, enough room for your golf clubs, your dog, your groceries. It'll go 65 miles an hour. It goes 100 miles to a charge. Comes in 6 colors, retails for $32,995, and it qualifies for both federal and state tax credits.
So 100-mile range on a full charge. This is really a sort of an in-town run around, perfect for the urban commute, for the quick run to the shops, for taking the kids to school.
Absolutely. We feel like the 100-mile range will eliminate range anxiety for most commuters. It also qualifies for the alternative fuel license plate, which gives you unrestricted access to the HOV lanes. We estimate it costs about 2 to 3 cents per mile to charge. So I've got like a 125-mile commute to work a week. It'll cost me about $3.75 a week to charge this car, which is less than a gallon of gas.
Great. Let's go up to the front of the car, look under the hood a little bit. Tell us where this is available. How do I get one?
We actually have a dealer network. Right now we've got about 25 dealers across the country. We're constantly working on bringing in new dealers. The closest dealer to Washington, D.C. is in Columbia, Maryland, and it's our Apple WeGo dealer.
And what are WeGo's plans beyond this car?
We actually are in research and development right now with our next car. Can't tell you a lot about it, but it is going to be a 5-seat crossover, a small SUV, and we hope to have it ready by the end of this year.
Terrific. Leslie, thank you very much indeed for bringing that. So that's the small-scale urban commuter car. Now let's take a look at something that you might find on the factory floor. It's the Lindy forklift, electric-powered. Rich Bevington is here from Lindy. Rich, tell us all about the Lindy.
What we have here is a true-use outdoor electric forklift. It can be fitted with a cab, heater, and run indoors, outdoors, wet, cold, hot, and dry.
What's the advantage of this over a traditional forklift?
Traditional forklift being internal combustion, this particular truck would see, as far as maintenance cost, about a third of the normal maintenance cost on an internal combustion truck. And as far as fuel usage, you would see about a 75% reduction in fuel versus burning fossil fuels.
So I'm going to see this on factory floors throughout the United States, internationally?
You're going to see this. You can see this internationally. We are a global company. We've got hundreds of these trucks actually operating in North America. Lindy is about 30% market share right now in Europe. So yeah, electric has been in use actually for a while in the material handling industry.
And I know that you're working with utilities like Southern Company to try and expand the use and therefore the sale of the Lindy. Tell us a bit about that work.
Yeah, I mean, we have electric producers. We have the technology now to utilize their product whenever it comes to moving goods and services. And the Lindy's here today, and the 80-volt technology will do the job of an internal combustion forklift.
Rich, thanks very much for bringing it here. That's the Lindy forklift. So those are some of the smaller scale vehicles that are really changing the nature of transportation in their particular sector. Let's move on and take a look at some of the larger trucks that you might see moving goods and services down your street pretty soon. And we have right here the Odyne utility vehicle, which is powered by biodiesel. And Matt Jarmers is here from Odyne. Matt, tell us all about this vehicle.
Yes, Simon, this is a plug-in hybrid utility vehicle, and while driving, the electric motor works in parallel with the diesel engine for increased fuel efficiency. Then once at the job site, the truck can work all electrically via our large 28 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery packs to power all the air conditioning, the air compressor, and all the tools at the job site.
So what kind of jobs does a truck like this do, and how does making it powered by electricity help?
Yeah, typically this type of vehicle would drive up to the job site and the engine would run all day long, consuming fuel and creating emissions at the job site, as well as noise. With this application, the vehicle will shut down automatically and go all electric to save fuel, to power either different types of trucks like this or any type of work vehicle that has a power takeoff.
reduced use of fuel, reduced use of emissions, better economic results for whoever owns it.
Yeah, with this size of vehicle, the savings can be anywhere to about 50% fuel savings, which could add up to over 1,000 gallons per year.
And what other kind of plug-ins is Odyne working on?
We work with different utility applications, including bucket trucks, digger derricks, cranes, and other work trucks in the industry.
Terrific. Matt, thank you very much indeed for bringing it here, showing it to us today. We're going to take a look at an even larger electric-powered truck in a little while, but right now, walk with me and we're going to take a look at a car that you may well have seen on the streets. I was driving behind one in New York just a few days ago. It may even have been Tom's very own Chevy Volt. And with me here to talk about the Chevy Volt is Carolyn Marquis from GM. Carolyn, thanks for being here. This is, as you know, is Tom's Volt. Tell us what's going on with the Chevy Volt. I know it's been making headlines recently. It's in production still?
Oh, absolutely. It's still in production. Like any new technology, we're ramping up momentum. In fact, the Chevrolet Volt sales nearly doubled from January to February.
And the Volt is available across the country?
Yes, it is. In fact, all Chevrolet dealerships around the country will now sell the Volt.
So what other electric products is GM currently working on in addition to the Volt?
Well, unfortunately, I can't tip my hand on new technologies, but I can tell you that we're looking at the Volt technology and its applications in other products, much like we did with the Buick LaCrosse with e-Assist. And the Opel Ampera, which is the sister vehicle of the Volt in Europe, now has 7,000 pre-orders in market.
Terrific. Carolyn, thanks very much indeed.
Thank
We
you.
have not scratched Tom's car. We'll tell him we haven't done that. Let's
you,
wrap
Simon.
up. You're very welcome, Tom. Let's wrap up by taking you over to see the largest truck that we've got out here. This is the all-electric Smith Newton. It is manufactured by Smith Electric Vehicles in Kansas City, Missouri. Newtons have a payload of up to 16,200 pounds each. They've got a range of 150 miles, depending on how the customer configures the battery. The Newton platform is used in a whole array of different delivery applications, including specialty applications like refrigerated delivery, military transportation, school buses, boom trucks, and Smith's global customers include, as you can see from the branding on the side of this thing, Frito-Lay, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, FedEx, the US Army, and the US Marine Corps, among others. And I am especially proud to report that Smith also operates a manufacturing facility in the United Kingdom. Whoever said that the empire was not in the forefront of technological change. So that's a look at some of the vehicles that we've got here and some of the vehicles you may see on the streets very soon. Tom, back to you upstairs.
Simon, thank you. You sold me. And basically, how many people in here may be in the market for a forklift? Well, not too many. There's one in the back. Terrific. Well, you know, I do think you'll see a whole lot of them. You see them in airports and other places too. Maybe you're not interested in delivery trucks, but I think this shows you the wide range and variety that electricity is moving into in terms of the transportation sector. And it's a very, very exciting time for us. It really does show again that this is just the beginning of electric innovation in the transportation sector. So once again, thank you all for being there. We very much appreciate it, and we'll take orders for any of those vehicles right outside. Thank you. Take care. Bye now.